speakers are getting prepared for today, but just a little introduction to say that what a shame we've got to be here under these circumstances. However, we are here, we'll make the best of it while we're here, pull together, stand tall, stand up against the tyranny, let Tommy hear everyone's voice. And remember, there's going to be agitators amongst everybody. Not sure that's meant to happen, but we'll roll with it. Oh, fuck it. I mess around with the mic while the music's playing. As I was saying, remember, we are the heartbeat for Tom while he's in there, on the street and online. Don't let anybody provoke you into making a wrong decision today or one false move. I'm not here to tell people what to do, but I see him regularly, I speak to him regularly, and we have come too far just to come this far. I'm going to get the lineup of speakers ready. Are we going to have another song? We'll get another song, we'll get the speakers ready, and let's get some energy in the streets of London. Let's fight for the love and optimism. Come on! Tommy's going to hear about this. And let's not forget about the other political prisoners as well. That are locked in the cell. The post is cut on Facebook, the slaughter regime didn't like. And they're hearing. I'll be back.
Oh dear, we've got some music playing now, that's good. As much talking as possible over this. Try to talk over it, it's copyright, isn't it?
I've stopped the bar in me.
Have you?
Can't be asked for that. Nightmare deal with that.
It is a little bit. After. Right?
What's it, mate?
Lots of people here, lots of people, lots of police here. Had a bit of a nightmare with the bike on the way down, had a puncture getting off the train today. So arrived just in time, but I was meant to be here early. So there we go. How's everyone doing? do as much talking as I can over this little bit. I don't want the music to be causing us issues later on, but it probably will be. But yeah, hope everyone's okay. Thanks for tuning in, late as it is. The music is finished.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask that you just slow down with the pushing at the front? It's becoming a little bit dangerous at the front. I've been asked to ask you. Thank you very much. So we have got a lot of speakers today to get through in a very short space of time. So it's going to be a rapid turnaround. I want you to enjoy every single last word, because everybody is coming from the heart, and they're all at risk being up here. Remember that. It takes some doing to get up here and open your heart and expose yourself to all these wonderful people. And next we have, to open up today's event, she's a Hamas terrorist attack survivor, Miss Tal Partof, ladies and gentlemen. Give a big round of applause, come on!
To give you hope that your fight is far from over. But first, the bad news. 14 years ago, I was taking an American Christian friend of mine on a hike on a nature trail in the state of Israel, and we were walking through the cyclamens under the pines when we were pounced on by two men with machetes. I fell to the ground. I struggled one of them, but he overpowered me. And then we were both hurled to our feet. And then we were in this most surrealistic event. We're under Vermedmilia, a canopy of pines, where I can hear the birds chirp. We're held at knife point for half an hour. And finally, one of them tells me to take off my shoes, and he ties our hands behind our back with my shoelaces. They gag us, and he removes my Star of David. And then I hear this symphony of monotheism. They wail the Takbir. Christine Lucan, an American Christian, whimpers, "Jesus save me." And through the vomit behind my gag, I gurgle the eternal creed of the Jewish people, Shema Yisrael. He stabs me so hard in the back I fall to the ground. He leans on my side, and every time he plunges that machete into me, I can hear my bones crunch. And the only thing I know to do is to play dead. So I tried not to move. I kept my eyes open, and in front of me I watched the most scarring and unforgettable sight of a woman hacked to pieces before my eyes. They leave, and I have one last goal in life. My commission is to die. Near where I parked the car so the police can find my body, and after a struggle I managed to stand. I turn my back on what is left of my friend, and step by step I begin to walk. I have 13 machete wounds, over 30 broken bones, snapped ribs, a collapsed lung, a crushed sternum, a dislocated shoulder, a broken shoulder blade, splinters in my lungs, a sliced diaphragm, and in that state I walked over a mile and found hope. In this very, very dark story, I have a little bit of hope. In that initial scuffle with these terrorists, I managed to pull out my penknife and stab one in the nuts. And due to that stabbing, the police were able to apprehend the terrorist because of his DNA on my sleeve. The good news is that they were sentenced and arrested, and as I speak, I'm waiting to hear if my would-be killers are going to be released for our hostages. The other bad news that I want you people to know about is for the last 14 years, your taxes have been sent to the Palestinian Authority, who are rewarding these terrorists with a multi-round salary. Listen out, London. I'm going to get to that. Listen. Listen to me. Listen to me, please. It is unkind and untrue and unhelpful to say all Muslims
haven't got a
Likewise,
little thing
it is unkind and
No,
helpful
you just
and
flip.
untrue
With the
to say
fruit,
all
yeah.
Muslims
Yeah.
groom and rape children.
And the little thing with a,
Not all
like a little
perpetrators
screw on it.
of grooming and rape
you know what I mean?
are brown
Screws into the bottom of there.
Pakistani men, and not
And then-
all victims are white English children. At its core, what is happening in this country is not about race
Yeah,
or
I've
nationality.
got that on there.
Sexual slavery, which is what is happening,
You know the one
is in
that
the foundational
got a screw hole in
text
it?
of 7th
Oh, hold
century
on.
Islam.
got one in there.
Jihad is a campaign of aggression waged by Muslims against non-Muslim peoples to make them submit to
Let's go
Islam.
into that.
Islam does not mean peace, it means submission. The sexual slavery
Oh, will it go on
of
there?
non-Muslim children in this country, at its core,
Don't know, will it fit in?
is part of jihad.
Oh, it's
Jihad shuts down free speech.
screw it in there.
Jihad sneaks in
I won't go anymore. Yeah.
and demands blasphemy laws.
I think I left it at home, the little thing for
Jihad
that.
marches around the corner under foreign terrorist flags with a battle cry to globalise the
think I need the,
Intifada, and the route of that Intifada passes through an arena
You know what I
in
mean, innit?
Manchester, London Bridge and the London Underground.
That's alright.
No one knows in this country
It's like flat, innit, with a screw hole in it,
of
and then-
child sex slaves.
Yeah. I thought I
In
had
a
it.
way, that doesn't matter as much as knowing their names. Numbers don't nest in our hearts, but names do.
Not a big deal.
Names conjure up faces. And in Israel, we know the face of every single hostage. Their posters are everywhere. We have yellow ribbons tied around trees. We have yellow ribbons in football teams. They wear as armbands. Our broadcasters wear yellow badges. And in every public building in Israel, there is an empty yellow chair.
sure I'll put it in there.
And also in Parliament itself. If the posters of your children, your sex slaves, were on billboards in Bradford, in pubs in Rochdale and Rotherham, on tubes in London,
You always forget something,
and
mate.
Oldham, on taxis in Telford, and in every court, police station and kebab shop in this country, your child sex slaves will become
Not to worry.
household
Thanks for
names,
checking.
and they will become part of this nation's consciousness.
Okay.
Names of the victims could be a banner rolling across the bottom of the screen at the likes of the BBC, Sky News and Channel News. Just think if every MP, every baroness, every local councillor, the Lord Mayor of London and the Prime Minister himself would wear a gold tag like this, which instead of saying, "My heart is held captive in Gaza," it would say, on one side there'd be a Union Jack, and on the other side it would say, "I will make our children safe again." London, people of Britain, to fight this fight, you need to get behind honourable, wonderful, warrior Muslims like Raja Maya. Raja has been fighting for 6 years to expose the Labour cover-ups. The Labour Party is protecting groomers and gang rapists to get the Muslim vote. You need to promote the voices of the radio dissidents and platform fearless, outspoken Muslim apostates. You need to make the name of Salman Momika an apostate Christian with an Iraqi refugee in Sweden who's known for his public demonstrations of burning the Quran, and he was murdered a few days ago by outraged jihadists. Let me tell you this, I understand outrage. I understand the outrage. I too am outraged at the terror which shredded my life. Not only did I lose my friends, I lost my health, my anonymity, my home, peace of mind, restful nights, routine, income, the dignity to provide myself, my vocation, the ability to enjoy the mundane, a painful existence, and my mental health. Yes, I am outraged, but I did not go running after Muslims, counting on them, tying them up, and hacking them to death. how do you can behave. It's a choice between a machete or a scalpel. And so I tell you, good people in London, and I can see you all, it is incumbent on you, Christians, Jews, Sikhs, Buddhists, Muslims in this country who have held in the highest esteem British law. You have to continue to choose the ethical and cultural superiority of Western civilization over 7th century Islam. The alternative, and there's no middle ground, the alternative is to side with the people marching around the corner. They will be the deranged and the depraved who express their outrage by ripping down posters and babies held captive in tunnels. These people around the corner, these are the people who excuse the murder of a refugee because he burned the book of those who persecuted him. These are the people who contextualize, excuse and legitimize the slaughter, the rape, the butchery, the beheading, the burning and the affliction of men, women and children on October the 7th from the farms and villages in the state of Israel. And this is my hope, because I have been wrong, and some of you may believe that this country is over. I've been wrong many times, I'll be wrong again, but I'm here to tell you, if you think this country is over, you could be wrong. I was asked to guide Tommy Robinson in Israel. Frankly, I wasn't really relishing the fact of taking around my country a white, racist, neo-Nazi, goose-stepping, swearing thug. I was right about the swearing, but I was wrong about everything else. I was also wrong about Israel. Those first days after October the 7th, I wondered if you would survive. But I tell you, out of this barbarity, we are living again. And where there is life, there is always hope. And I've been wrong about myself, given the unadulterated terror that I experienced. I never thought that I would ever be able to leave my room again. Hello, London. And here I am, after thinking I could never face anyone again because the terror was so big. Here I am, just chilling out with tens of thousands of British people, with my back to the Prime Minister of this United Kingdom. Just to conclude, I'd like to thank you, and I'd like to say to the people on the march over there with their terrorist flags, it's been very healing for me to take a little time out of my busy schedule of genocide and talk to you all today. So, just remember, London, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Shalom!
Let's have an absolutely massive round of applause for Tao, our hero of free speech. And I want to very quickly think about Salwan Mamika. Salwan Mamika had a rather unusual hobby. He burned Qurans on a regular basis. Salwan Mamika was a hero of free speech, and I want to call for this entire crowd to fall silent for 1 minute for a hero of Western civilization and a hero of free speech. Let's have a massive cheer for Salwan Mamika. And now, 1 minute as we bow our heads and remember that hero of free speech, Salman. Let's have a minute's silence starting now. Let's have a massive round of applause for Salman. And we want the Tommy Robinson movement, the United Kingdom movement. We want everybody to remember the name of Salman. So I want everybody in the crowd to start chanting Salman, Salman, Salman. And we're going to let the killers, the psychopathic religious extremists that killed Salman know we will never forget the names of the heroes of freedom, but we will despise your name forever who killed freedom and who killed Salman. Thank you very much. And now, a slight change of tone. We've got the broadcaster, the writer and the editor of The Conservative Woman. Give it up for Kathy Gindle.
Thank you. What an incredible honour it is to be here today to speak to this crowd who are here to end Tommy Robinson's isolation. My name is Kathy Gindle. I edit a website called The Conservative Woman Defending Freedom. That is why I am here today, to defend freedom. One person's freedom in particular. Even closer, sorry, should it be down a bit? Is that better? Sorry everybody, I'm managing the mic, I'm not very used to this. The person's freedom who I'm defending is right now behind locked doors in cruel, solitary confinement. And for what? And why? For the crime of bringing the truth to light. I am here today to add my voice to the thousands of people here, to your voices, to call for Tommy Robinson's freedom and immediate release. For his immediate release and an end to this travesty of justice. I am here to condemn those behind this shocking and unprecedented sentence. To condemn those who weaponized contempt of court to silence him. This is wrong. The last time a journalist was imprisoned for contempt of court was in
At least it's not the big
1963.
camera. That was
Two
hot.
journalists for 3 months and 6 months. Never, ever with solitary confinement. Tommy is a victim, you all know, of two-tier justice.
I'll be in there somewhere, isn't it?
In solitary confinement
Maybe the main-
for a civil
the main bit.
offence is obscene and above all wrong. Today, I am speaking for the many people I know who also know it's obscene and wrong, but who are too afraid to speak out. The far-right label is a very, very effective way of shutting otherwise decent people up.
Did you fly? Did you fly?
Peterson
Did you do any
was
drone
right.
earlier?
And I ask, who
thought
is
you may have done it over by,
responsible for that?
Water.
The Daily Mail, the Telegraph, and politicians who should
Water
know
is original.
better.
Quite far away though.
They may choose not to recognise Tommy's unwavering commitment to revealing the grooming gang atrocities. They may choose not to like him. They may choose not to have anything to do with him. That's up to them. But letting smears become an excuse for banging him up is just plain wrong. It's time they were told, and I call on them now to stop it, to open their eyes to the biggest travesty of justice of this century in this country, and to join our campaign to free him now.
Come on, big round of applause for Kathy. It's not easy up here. We want Tommy out! 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 And you know what? That is exactly what we want. We're not just here to stop the isolations. We are here because we want Tommy Robinson free from that jail cell. No more solitary, no more mucking around. Get Tommy out of jail now, and every other political prisoner that's in there for retweets and Facebook posts that went against the Starmer regime. No more. And next, one of Urban Scoop's, I thought Liam Gallagher's pointing down here on this mic. One of Urban Scoop's favourites, Mr. Danny Roscoe, let's go! Come on, London! Right. For too long, they've tried to divide us. They've tried to silence us. They've stripped away our culture, but today that ends. Because we want our country back isn't just a slogan, it's a battle cry. This land is ours. It was built by giants, by warriors, by men and women who shaped the modern world. And now it's our turn. For our children, for their future. You see our borders, they are wide open. We are being invaded by thousands upon thousands of unvetted, undocumented men, and we are illegal immigrants living like kings. While our veterans, the men who have bled for this country, sleep on the streets. There is 40,000 people on the terror watch list. Islamists walking amongst us, while every day mothers fear for their children's safety. That is the UK that the establishment wants to hide from the world. The West, we once stood for free speech, but now today's dissenters are either censored, deplatformed, jailed or worse. And again, rest in peace, Salwan. Tommy Robinson, though, he has been in solitary confinement for months because he told the truth. We are here, stop the isolation, free Tommy Robinson, or at the least give him his visits. But it's not just about Tommy. We are here for every political prisoner who has been punished for telling the truth. People like Ray O'Rourke, he shared the truth. He exposed the illegal invasion. He said some hurting words, granted, but he called out the government's lies, and now he also is in prison for over 2.5 years while paedophiles and Muslim grooming gangs walk free. Britain has been betrayed by Sir Keir Starmer and the other Sir, Sadiq Khan. They should be charged with treason. But who pays for this betrayal? Because it's not the politicians, it's not the people in their gated communities, it's not even the elites with their private security. It's you, it's me, it's our families, our children. So I demand a few things, ladies and gentlemen. Close down the borders and let the people in. Deport every illegal immigrant starting from those in the hotels. We go round them up and kick them out. Deport every foreign criminal in our prison system. Round them up and kick them out. Start the migration program for those who refuse to assimilate. If you don't want to be British, you can fuck off back where you came from. Also remind that big jobs are made for British people. These homes are there for British families. Schools, dentists, doctors, GP surgeons, it goes on and on. They all serve the British people first. And I demand a government that puts the British people first and protects us from all our foes. That includes the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, and domestic terrorists like Antifa and Hope Not Hate. And I think you kids want to do this, but now people, I'm going to leave it with this. I am going to leave it with this. We've got to do this for our family. We've got to do it for our neighbours, we've got to do it for every single man and woman who gives a damn about this country. And if we stand together, if we fight together, there is no force on this earth that can stop us. And today, we begin the fight to take back this country! Lovely. Now we're only a few speakers in and I'm already starting to lose my voice. So it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you at the back. Let me hear you. Oh, Tommy, Tommy! Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move this on swiftly. There's a lot of speakers tonight. We have got an ex-reform male candidate, Mr. Howard Cox.
Here we go.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? I'll introduce myself because not many people will know of me, but I stood against that little guy called Sadiq Khan. Always gets a warm welcome. I stood against him for Reform UK. I was asked to actually stand as a London mayoral candidate for Reform because for 15 years I've stopped £200 billion of tax rises on the motorist. Who drives here? Everyone drive? Who drives a diesel? Who drives a petrol? Okay, you know what's coming out. Who drives an electric vehicle? Okay, it's very sad, you know. I stood as London Mayor, and we would have got a lot more people in the Assembly if Nigel had declared, Nigel Farage declared his leadership at that point, but he didn't. He waited until the election, and I stood down in Dover as a potential MP down there, and I came second. I'm not notorious into third, which is good. After just 3.5 weeks of campaigning, the Labour candidate had 2 years. But anyway, enough of that. I left Reform on a matter of principle, and the matter of principle is very simple. I believe in Reform UK's policies, low taxation, you know, defend our borders, and all of those things we all agree with. But when I got, just before, about 4 or 5 days before I left, I got a text from a senior Reform headquarters person, very senior, said, if you continue to talk about Tommy Robinson, you will be expelled. Yeah, just dwell on that for a moment. This is supposed to be a party of free speech. And I said, I'm not having it. So I left. And that's the important thing at the moment in time. I don't believe Reform, and this is an invite to Nigel Farage, Richard Tice. Please could you sit down and talk with Tommy Robinson and get rid of your bloody differences. I hope you agree with that. And that's what I'm going to keep calling for. I'm sorry, I stand on a matter of principle. I don't care a damn about politicians and their egos. All I care is about free speech. And Tommy must be freed and released from solitary now. And as usual, the mainstream media attack me on this sort of thing because I'm a far-right thug. Do I look like a far-right thug? But the important thing is, what really turned it for me with Richard Tice in interviews called That Lot. And I'm proud to be that lot. And I've also been called a nut job by certain people. I thought there's a lot of Reform friends, there's a lot of good people there in Reform, and I still think Reform is the best option. We've got to get rid of Starmer. And we've got to get a Tory party that is basically like Margaret Thatcher was running all those years ago. If we got that in a situation like that, that's why the right should get together, sit round a table, get rid of all the differences and destroy Starmer. And stop picking on people like Tommy Robinson, because that man, to me, is a political hero. And the other thing also, we've got this two-tier policing, this two-tier justice. There's loads of people with the hurty words. They should be released as well. They should be, all of their criminal charges should be dropped. They should get an apology. And also, one of the groups I'm supporting big time are the Tooting Four. You heard of the Tooting Four? Well, these are the Tooting Four. All they did after the 50th anti-ULEZ protest, they were in Tooting. But Sadiq Khan said they were causing harassment outside his house, which was 500 metres away, and he wasn't even there. But these people have been found guilty for harassment after a 50th anti-ULEZ protest. And the Tooting Four, I think some of them are here today, I really would say, can you get behind them? So from my point of view, I'd like to thank you. It's a huge honour to be here, and I'm right behind Tommy, and I'm not going away from politics completely, but I'm still fighting for the motorists. Thank you.
Well, what a lovely man Howard is. I don't think 5 minutes was enough. Perhaps he'll come on my podcast so I can pick his brain a little bit further. What do you reckon? Howard comes on the podcast? Yeah. Now, has anybody seen Wendell? Anyone seen him? Another urban scoop legend? He's in disguise, apparently. Anybody seen Wendell? He's just... Wendell! You're up, brother! Come on! Give it up for Wendell, ladies and gentlemen!
big up Street Mike. Reckon I'll go there? Bit risky that. You can use it though.
Good afternoon all, can you all see me? Can I begin by saying how great it is for me to be out here today as an English gentleman in my beautiful suit supporting Tommy Robinson, and when I was invited to speak today, those of you who know me will know I've got a big mouth and I can speak for hours, and I was invited to speak to you guys for 2 hours. Can you believe that? But I say no, I'm only going to do it for 5 minutes because other people have to speak. But I am really proud to be out here today, and I'm being honest, those of you who know me will know that I used to believe that Tommy Robinson was a right-wing racist, and I did. I have no problem in admitting this to thousands and thousands of people, but I did my own research and I found out that Tommy is an English gentleman and he is fighting for this country, and that is so good. I went to Telford, I engaged with Tommy, and Tommy has given me an opportunity to stand before you guys. And you may remember, some months ago, Tommy called me onto the stage and he invited citizens journalists to support the cause, and I've been doing that. And all of these citizens journalists here today, please give them all a round of applause. Please give them all a round of applause. Without these guys, we will not be able to counter the rubbish being put out by the mainstream media. But I am going to end now unusually, but please make sure, go on your phones now, hit the subscribe button for Urban Scoop. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and tomorrow I will be at Speaker's Corner on Tommy Robinson's Twitter page from 1 till 4 p.m. If you want to carry on this discussion, let's make sure, look into Speaker's Corner, follow me down at Speaker's Corner, we can have a discussion. But before I do go, can I just have another 1 minute? I'm going to ask these guys and girls, please, let's raise the roof of these buildings. Tommy is going to be listening. Tommy is going to be hearing you. Can we sing? Oh, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Oh, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson!
What a guy! Oh, I wish I'd have had the initiative to take the mic out to stand earlier. I hate standing there. Big love, brother. So we're getting updates from behind stage of the counter protesters, the lazy left kicking the can about. You know the ones. There's about 500 of them with absolutely nothing to protest against. Who in God's name would want to protest against you, lovely lot? Blows my mind. Anyway, next on stage is the founder of Lotus Caesars and political commentator, Cole Benjamin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go!
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for braving the cold February. So, one of the narratives that I hear about Tommy Robinson coming from the media is that Tommy is not a political prisoner. And that is obviously false, because we are ruled by communists. And we know this because Rachel Reeves put up a picture of a communist in her office. Keir Starmer was a Trotskyist in his youth, and his opinion on things has not changed. And to the communists, everything is political. So every decision that they make is a political act, and every person they arrest is a political decision, which is why the Southport rioters are also political prisoners. One of the main problems that we have at the moment is a lack of really good leadership. You'll notice that Tommy Robinson is brought up to Nigel Farage as a weapon by the media, because they know that Mr. Farage has not got a good response to them. And so what Nigel does is insults and denigrates Tommy for the pleasure of the media, which is very foolish because many of his supporters are also supporters of Tommy Robinson. And so what the media is doing, and Farage is allowing to be done to him, is to sow division in his own base and split and make trouble for the people who support reform. What he ought to be doing is stepping over the issue. And when they bring up Tommy Robinson to him, Nigel should be on the attack. He should say, well, hang on a second, why does Tommy Robinson even exist? Whose failures have led to Tommy Robinson being a person we have to talk about? If it wasn't for the fact that the rape gangs had been covered up by the media, by the politicians, by the councils, by the police, if it wasn't for these people all being complicit, looking whoever is dead in the eye and accusing them too, Tommy Robinson would not be here with us. And so Nigel Farage could easily win all of these arguments by saying, I have come here to make sure that Tommy Robinson can retire, by making these problems resolve themselves with justice. Fortunately, Nigel does have good people around him. I've noticed that even Lee Anderson has been speaking quite stridently recently, but I'd like to give a big shout out to Rupert Lowe for providing the moral leadership that is required in this country. And one last thing that really I do find frustrating is the lack of attack on every single one of their narratives. We have a great example in our friends in America. Do not give them an inch. Pick a topic that is important to the British people, polarize it and win on it. The obvious thing to do in Britain is to look at the polls. 70% of people are against immigration now, so Nigel Farage could easily win on this subject. This is what they should be doing, and for some reason they're not.
When you're ready, mate, I'll get back.
Anyway, I will, of course, try and keep it brief because it's very quiet, very cold. But thank you all so much for coming. I'm genuinely shocked at the impressive turnout that we've had. Godspeed.
Another wonderful man. So we're going to have a song, and whilst the music's playing, the charity buckets are going to come round, and all those donations go towards Urban Scoop, and they help families that are going through similar problems that Tommy is and his family, all those political prisoners, banged up, unjust. They always start the music when I'm speaking. You get the picture, and there's also going to be some hats coming round the south. So hats and buckets and music. And then we got Maya Tusi coming on the stage, cancelled by Iran, Tusi TV, winning every single day. And I'll see you very shortly. One more time.
There you go.
Cancelled by Iran. And driving the truth through YouTube.
Here he is.
Via TUI TV. Tusi TV. It's been a long day. Ladies and gents, Mr. Maya Tusi!
Hello.
We're back. As you guys know, we're here for Tommy Robinson, but also all the other political prisoners. But before the BBC had a meltdown, no, I'm not talking about those who went to loot the shops and cause trouble like that, but those who were arrested for protesting, those who were protested for standing on a pavement and observing a protest, and those who posted the meme on social media. We are there for them. But I would like to talk about the hypocrisy of the liberal establishment, not just in the United Kingdom, but on an international level. It's not just this government behind me. Our so-called allies, Justin Trudeau, Emmanuel Macron, all the liberal countries, the hypocrisy of the international allies. They are very vocal when it comes to condemning you, because your views are extremist. They get involved, they interfere in our politics. But they don't say anything. When the Taliban take over Afghanistan, they don't talk about it. They say it's their country. They say when the Gazans, the Palestinians overwhelmingly voted for Hamas, that's democracy, that's their sovereign right. It's fine. When Al-Julani and his Islamist minions and nutters take over Syria, Justin Trudeau's government, Emmanuel Macron's government, all of them, they go and shake hands with them. It's a sovereign right. But the United Kingdom, the British people, having views, oh, they should interfere. They have every right to interfere. But the hypocrisy goes further. Let's talk about Salvan. Salvan Momika, a Christian refugee from Iraq, a genuine refugee and asylum seeker. The liberal left, who claim that all refugees are welcome here. Not Salvan. The Swedish government let him down. The Americans were supposed to be helping him, took their time. This is the problem that we have. It's an international problem, and I'm glad, again, to see all the different flags, the American flags, the Iranian flags, of course the Israeli flags and all the others as well. We're all in it together. But it's also about you guys. I want to say thank you to every single person who's been patient, who's here in the cold, came all the way from across the countries, like some people from across the world. You guys who are furious, but still peaceful. You show your strength in numbers. And it's about you. Without you guys, Tommy couldn't continue what he's doing. Without you guys, we couldn't, I wouldn't be here. I'll probably be in jail in Iran. Probably deserve it. But I love you all. I was going to say, my heart goes out to you all, but my fiancé said I can't say it. Apparently you're not allowed to say my heart goes out to you all. So my heart will stay right here. Not moving, stay right here. Now, I did also say, obviously, the last few times we were here, I preached. I told you guys, we have a crisis of birth rate and demographics. The Anglo-Saxon Christians need to start having babies. The British patriots need to start having babies. Afterwards, everyone said, what about you? Well, I finally done it. My fiancé is here. We're getting married in a few months. And we're going to have a lot of mini TVs. Little ones. Thank you again for everything. And as usual, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to DCTV. I'm Miles Tracy and we are the media. Anybody that's got big enough balls to go and speak at Speaker's Corner and debate anyone that's prepared to stand in front of them gets big respect from me. So I want to welcome on stage a brave Christian lady with bigger balls than most, Shalini. Come on, let's hear it for Shalini, big balls.
I'm
thank the team for inviting me to speak on the stage. Thank you so much. And I just want to say, Tommy Robinson, if he's watching or if he's allowed to watch, that you are never alone. We all are with you. We will fight this fight together. We are never alone. And we want to make this country, Great Britain, great again. Can we hear from Tommy Robinson? Can we hear? Oh, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson! Thank you. I just want to say, you know, this country is a country based on Christian values. This country belongs to the people who wants to live in this country with freedom of right, freedom of religion, freedom of cultural values, and this country embraces every faith, every religion. But my dear friends, there are some politicians and the wicked and evil people in this country who are sitting on the post, on the position, and they are there to destroy this country. Those politicians need to be thrown down, and we need the politicians who work for the welfare of the country. It's time to rise up and save your children, save your families, save your daughters, save your wives, save your mother from the vicious, evil people, those who are working in behind the religion, all vicious and evil acts. You know, in this country, they have got one word, that is Islamophobia. The phobia word, they have used it in a very wrong way. We are not scared of Islam. We are not scared of Islam. This country belongs to Christians, and this country respects every religion. And we are here to fight this fight together. Tommy Robinson, when he talked about expose the grooming gangs from Pakistan and from Bangladesh, they are grooming our young children, they are grooming our young girls, they are sexually assaulting our young girls. It's time to save them. It's time to speak for them. And Tommy Robinson, I just want to say, you are never alone. We all are together in this fight. And this country, you know, this country gives you freedom of religion. This country gives you equal rights. A lot of asylum people have come here. They have welcomed in this country. But when you live in this country, you don't backstab the country. You don't backstab the country. You respect the country. You don't backstab it. So, your Sharia laws, keep it in your backside. Keep your Sharia laws in your backside. We don't need it here in this country. If you don't want to live in this country, you can go back to your Sharia countries. Not here. Not here. So my dear friends, Islam is not a religion. It's dressed as a religion. But it's the cult and evil and wicked, vicious acts behind the name of religion. So my dear friends, we stand together with Tommy Robinson. And Tommy Robinson, we love you. You are never alone. And I just want to say, Tommy Robinson, may God bless you. May God keep His face shine upon you. May God be gracious unto you. And may God keep His countenance upon you. And may God give you peace. This is for Tommy Robinson. You are never alone. We all are together with you. And we will fight this fight together. In the name of Jesus Christ, we will get this country back on its feet and back from the wicked, evil politicians who are sitting on the
So my dear friends, this country embraces everyone. This country welcomes everyone. And it's time that we see that we don't backstab this country. So we love this country. We are standing for this country. And we pray. I just want to pray for the people of this country and for the whole country that, the Lord is our shepherd and we shall not want. We will not lack nothing. He makes us to lie down in green pastures. He restoreth our soul. He makes us to walk in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. And in the Bible it says, even though we walk through the valley of the shadow of the death, we will fear no evil. Fear is from the devil. We are not for fear. Fear is from the devil. But, love is from God. And we will fear no evil. And God will make your enemies. God will prepare a table in the presence of our enemies. And God will anoint our head with oil, and surely goodness and mercy will follow thee all the days of our life, and we will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Blessed is the nation whose Lord is God. And we thank you Tommy Robinson, you are never alone. We love you and we stand with you forever and ever. Thank you.
Well, that would be a very difficult one to follow, wouldn't it? I'm going to give a couple of announcements and then I'm going to bring a very good friend, Peter McElvenna from Hearts of Oak. But first, before I do that, and if the cameras can get on this, there's a very special event taking place on the 22nd of March this year. And it's called For the Children. There'll be a lot of details out. If you've got these leaflets in the crowd, please scan the QR code. Go to the Facebook page, join the Facebook page, and let's get tens of thousands of British patriots standing for our children on the 22nd of March 2025. Now, I want you to give an absolutely massive welcome to Peter McElvenna. Peter has been walking this walk for 20 years. He's done a lot in the background. He put his face out there about 7 years ago with Hearts of Oak. His channel's absolutely fantastic. He'll tell you where the social media is. Give a massive round of applause to my friend and your friend Peter McElvenna.
Thank you, Richard. Great to see so many patriots here today. And no matter if you've only come across Tommy a month ago or 10 years ago, this is your family. This is the people who will stand with you. These are the people that Tommy has brought together who will speak truth into every situation. So welcome to your new family if you're new to this. You are all enemies of the state. So, and some of us know what that is like, others don't, but we know we will stand for it because we know what we stand for. I first met Tommy 16 years ago. We launched Hearts of Oak 5 years ago, 10 minutes that way. Tommy spoke, as did Carl Benjamin and others. And I went to see him in prison a couple of weeks ago with Gerard Batten, as I did to Belmarsh before, never having been to prison, except when I visited Tommy Robinson. Of course, I did have to sign an NDA because I wanted to spend time with him and to cheer him up. And he actually cheered Gerard and I up because he knows what is happening out here with Elon Musk and the support that he has. So, how did everyone feel on the 1st of January when you saw Free Tommy Robinson on X, on Twitter? What a moment! Now, I could tell you all about how broken our society is. Rape gangs acting with impunity for 6 years. Nearly a quarter of 250,000 children's lives snuffed out every year in the name of convenience. Sexualization of our children in every area of society. Acceptance of a brutal and destructive ideology based on a man who may or may not have lived 1400 years ago in Saudi Arabia. Anyone know what man I'm talking about? Beginning with M, I think, and Mr. Mohammed. Our culture and society has been overwhelmed by an immigration tsunaami. Absolute truth is rejected. We need something And Tommy knows all these issues, and he has fought against all these issues and spoken truth into them. And that's why you're here. We need a vision for this country, and it's not Reform UK at the moment. Maybe in the future, but not now. And I want to talk about Christian nationalism, the promotion of Christian values in society. Christian nationalism is hope for our nation. It's a society based on biblical principles, but Christianity is Christ. It's following Jesus. You take Christ out of Christian, and you're left with Ian. Now, Ian's not going to do much for you, so I'd like to see Christ back in Christianity. And Christianity is clearly defined, unlike British values. British values, we hear of democracy. Well, how does that place work for you and me? Parliament, it hasn't. What about rule of law? We now live in a lawless society. Do you trust the police or the courts? I don't. Individual liberty, that has slipped away during lockdown and has continued and is now completely destroyed. What about mutual respect? The only thing we are told to respect is Islam and every culture except ours. What about tolerance? That means an acceptance of error, and I don't subscribe to that. British values are subjective, but biblical values are absolute, and they will show us how to live. The fact that we are made in the image of God, the fact that we are told that God created each of us in the womb, I mean, that should end the abortion industry. Do you know, the WHO tells us that induced abortion is a simple and common health care procedure. How is it health care? 3 out of every 10 pregnancies end in abortion. That's 60 million deaths every year. It is illegal to pay outside abortion.
Oh, can't I go that way?
And how can we have 170 accident and emergency departments, but 300 abortion departments? We have more death centres than health centres. And I know Calvin was speaking at one of these events, and I won't give my heart out to you as he did. But you know what I mean. We are made in the image of God. Our skin colour is irrelevant, our background, or ethnicity. We are all made in the image of God, and every one of us has unique value. What about the God created male and female? Do you know, this is now LGBTQI month. I don't know if you knew, but this is the first of 28 long days where we celebrate the sexual madness of LGBTQI. It's a month of sexual perversion that reigns in our nation and seeks to destroy the family. Do you know what LGBTQI should really stand for? Let's go break the queer ideology. That's what I would suggest. Let's rename these things. Let's have some fun. It's an evil and destructive ideology that must be destroyed. Now, President Trump is going to destroy it there. We need that same justice here. But can I just finish? We are each here for a reason. In Ephesians it says, we are created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance to do. Every single one of us has a purpose. Every single one of us were created for a reason. We need to make sure and find out what this do. Part of the reason is because you're here, because you want to have freedom. You want your country back. I'll leave you with a quote. Mark Twain said the 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. We need to find out why. Tommy knows why he was born, and that is to speak truth in every section of society. Can I just finish to ask you this week to take time? Many of you have written to Tommy, many of you have talked to family members and colleagues about how Tommy is and what he is doing. Can I ask you to just take a moment this week and pray for Tommy? It's something each of us can do. Many of us here actually believe in a God. You may believe in the God of the Bible. Pick another one. But I want you to pray this week and pray for Tommy, for courage, for protection, for safety, that he will get out quickly, that Elon Musk's support of him will free him. And can I ask you to pray that we see our politicians turn around and accept Tommy is a hero and to have a change in our parliament. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Peter McElvenna. Couple of announcements. First one is, if there's buckets in the crowd, if you can start passing all the buckets, back to the front of the crowd, because we want to get that money in before it disappears and goes into those white police vehicles at the back of the crowd. We don't want to go there, we want to go into here. So bring the buckets up. If you haven't put money in the buckets, do it now. And we're going to introduce a song by Tracy Chapman called Talking About a Revolution. Well, we're here today for a very specific reason, and the banner says it's time to end Tommy's isolation. Do you agree with that? I want to go a bit further. I don't want to end, well, I do want to end Tommy's isolation. I want to end Tommy's isolation by freeing Tommy Robinson. We want Tommy out. 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 Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner. Tommy Robinson isn't in prison in isolation because of contempt of court. And this is what the prison governor said. She said Tommy is in isolation because of his ideology, because of what he believes. And let me tell you something today. I believe what Tommy believes. You believe what Tommy believes. And the whole country believes what Tommy Robinson believes. You see, for years, our politicians have cowered in the corner. They've been terrified of upsetting the Islamic community in the United Kingdom. Tommy never had such a fear, and neither do you. Tommy Robinson stood against the rape jihad in the United Kingdom. So do I, and so do you. Tommy Robinson warned about and stood against the Islamisation of the United Kingdom. So do I, and so do you. And when there were jihadist attacks, who was it that was highlighting the mosques where those monsters came from? It was Tommy Robinson. Now, Suella Braverman, she said a very interesting thing a couple of weeks ago. She said, in 20 years, the United Kingdom will be an Islamic state. To quote Margaret Thatcher, we say, no, no, no. Our country, our beautiful Christian country, is never going to be an Islamic state, because we're going to take it back. And how do we do that? How do we do that? Well, we take it back by focusing on three things. And the first one has been spoken about a lot today. The first thing that we're going to focus on is spirituality. This country is a Christian country, and it's going to stay a Christian country forever. The next thing we need to focus on is the ideology of our movement. And I'm going to give you a web address that I want you all to go to. I want all the cameramen to get this website as well. I want you to go to a website called thepledge.org.uk. Give a round of applause for the pledge if you signed it. And if you signed it, I want to ask you to get all your friends and family to sign it, because that is one of the pieces of the jigsaw that will bring our country back and save our country. And finally, we need a political solution. How many people here think the Conservative Party is the solution? How many people here think the Labour Party is the solution? How think reform's the solution. There's only one party at the moment that represents all of our views and all of our values, and it's UKIP. UKIP at the minute is the only party that represents the British people and is taking a stand. And I want to echo Nick Tenconi's words. What we're going to do with the illegals, we're going to deport. The illegal migrants have to go. And I'm going to finish. I know you're all really cold. I'm going to ask you all to jump up and down in a minute. But before I do that, I'm going to finish on this. We need to free Tommy Robinson. And we need to jail, arrest, and deport to Pakistan the Pakistani Muslim rape gangs. We will see victory. We will win this battle, and we will see two-tier Keir deposed from power. Thank you very much. Now, before I welcome our next guest, I'm going to ask you all to jump up now. I know it's stupid. Just move about. Start getting warm again. It's freezing cold. Start moving. We don't let everyone get hypothermia. Do you know how silly you all look? Andrew Bridgen as the next guest. He's the hero of free speech. Let's get him back in the House of Parliament. Give it up for Andrew Bridgen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We stand here today in solidarity, in support of a very, very brave man. An English patriot, a man who believes in justice and truth, a man with principles, a man who knows that principles cost you, a man who's now suffering solitary confinement for his beliefs in truth and justice and principles. That man is Tommy Robinson. And there's no doubt that Tommy Robinson is a political prisoner. Now, what do we think of Keir Starmer? No, you're wrong. He's not that good. He's barely been in office for 7 months. First of all, he came for the old age pensioners and the winter fuel allowance. He came for the farmers. He's come for Tommy Robinson. And with the net zero hoax, the assisted dying bill, the climate and nature bill, he's coming for all of us. Well, he's not going to win. We're going to make this year the year of truth and justice on many matters. And it's not just the politicians who've let you down. The mainstream media have let you down. They let us down all the time with the fake news and the misreporting. Malcolm X was an American civil rights campaigner, and he said that the media, they have the most power in the world because they have the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent. And that's what they're doing, and that's what they've done with Tommy Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, abide by the rules today, be proud of your country, and let's free Tommy Robinson. Thank you for listening to me.
That's the sort of politician that we want in the House of Parliament. They've got to go, the Bridges have got to come. I want to ask the camera guys to zoom in on that QR code. That is the QR code for the pledge. What we want to do is get that on every single social media channel you can get it on, and get people signing the pledge today. Thank you very much. Now we're going to bring Dan from Voice of Wales. He doesn't need an introduction. He's a total legend. He's been fighting for freedom in Wales. Do you know, if you think we got it bad in England, try living in Wales. There's a sign in the audience that says Labour are pants. Dan knows all about how pants Labour are. Give it up for Dan from Voice of Wales.
Hello London! Once again. So I think the first thing I want to say is, first of all, I'm going to keep it nice and short. It's probably all going to be pleased to hear because it is freezing. But I want to start with saying something that always impresses me every single time over the number of years that I've come into these events is how every single one of you turn out in numbers and how you conduct yourself in such a very, very respectable manner that it just gives no credibility to the names and the slurs that are slung against you guys that you're going to hear on the BBC, Sky News and things like that. However, guys, I want you all, first of all, give yourselves a round of applause for how you've turned out today. So well done. Now, as Richard said, we've been living in Wales and living under Labour for some time now, and we know exactly how you feel. What you're seeing now with the political prisoners and how people are treated for speaking out, it isn't new to Wales. It is new here, and it's something that everybody's starting to get a little bit annoyed about, which is great to see, if I'm going to be totally honest. Now, something else as well is you had that lot, and the numbers that have come up from that lot. I think Liam was a little bit generous earlier on when he said 500. I definitely think it's a little bit less than that. But something for everybody to consider is that they all get paid to be here. You would have seen adverts all over social media from local trade unions, teachers unions, Unison, all offering free travel, free food to come along, and they can muster 300 to 500 if you want to be fair. You guys turn out in the thousands, and it comes out of your own pocket every single time. So again, give yourselves a round of applause for that. Now, like I said, I am going to keep it short, but I do want to introduce someone onto the stage. It's their first demonstration in London, first demonstration really in all. Now, this man, you may recognise him from GB News. He comes all the way from my hometown of Swansea City as well. And you may have seen on GB News spent a week or so in a migrant camp in Calais, and then travelled across the channel on a dinghy, only to be arrested. Guys, give it up for Lee West.
Hi guys, how's it going? Been put on the spot a little bit here today. I wasn't due to speak on stage. I'm just here giving a bit of support for Vicky, who is speaking later. So I've been stitched up a little bit by Dan. And I don't want to talk about the politics and the message that we are driving home today, because I think the guys have been doing an absolute fantastic job of that. What I did want to say is a little bit about you guys. And this is the first time I've ever attended an event like this, unbelievably. I served my country in the Royal Marines for 17 years, so I have seen a few... Cheers. I have seen a few unruly crowds in my time, which today isn't, in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I've also been in a Yellow Vest protest in Paris, and that was carnage, very, very violent. But I just want to say a little bit about what I've seen today, because not having been to one of these events, I mean, the closest I've been is a handful of the Free Palestine idiots outside my business in Swansea. I've been able to look at it from a fresh set of eyes, unbiased. I'm not here on anybody's behalf today, just here in support. And it's been able to look at it with a fresh set of eyes and without any bias. Now, I'm sure none of you listen to or are influenced by the legacy mainstream media. Boo! And neither am I. But unfortunately, when you are active online, you do come across their stuff. And it can get into your psyche a little bit. And if you listen to that, and I'm sure you've got a lot of people in your friends and circles on social media who would look at something like today and have a lot of prejudice towards it and think it's just a bunch of unruly, violent criminals and thugs out causing aggression and criminal damage. And today's been the absolute opposite. I've never seen such a peaceful, polite, light and positive gathering in my life. It's been absolutely amazing. And it's been a privilege to see it from this point of view. I was right at the start, I was right in the middle of it, and now I'm getting to see it from you. And every single one of you should be proud of the way you conducted yourselves today. You've absolutely covered yourselves in glory. And I'm very proud to see it. I'm sure Tommy is going to be proud when he gets to see it, right? And the country should be proud of what you've done here today. It's been amazing to witness. And I guess my last little point is going on from those prejudices to us and everybody who's here today. And the fight isn't against the far left or the left, because you can't fight against something. You're never going to have a reasonable conversation with them, and you're never going to change their minds. The fight is with the middle ground, with those people who are scared to comment on something like today in a positive way like I have, and I can go back to those people now and say, well, I've seen it with my own eyes. If you haven't, don't cast judgment. Go yourselves like I have and get involved. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, and be proud of yourselves.
Invitation to every single person here on the 15th of February in Swansea. We are having a big celebration. It's a Valentine's celebration. Happy Valentine's Day, Britain. And it's going to be filled like this with great people like yourselves. And it's just going to be an event which lets us remember what it is that makes Britain great. So on the 15th of February in Swansea, hopefully see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan and the Voice of Wales team. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I wonder who's travelled the furthest to get to this event today. I spoke to someone this morning that come all the way from Indonesia. Well, I bet you the guy coming up next beats that. He's come all the way from the United States of America. Give it up for a friend of Tommy Robinson, a friend of mine, a friend of England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Mr. Don Keith. Thank you very much.
Hello, England! Everybody say, yeehaw! That's what I love to hear, man. I love to be here with you guys. It's such a welcoming country, and every time I come, I'm just flabbergasted by the turnout and just the love and just everything. You guys mean a lot to me. You know, people ask me, I got asked last week, as a matter of fact, why do you march with Tommy Robinson? Well, I wasn't able to march with Winston Churchill and George Washington. I didn't have the opportunity to march with Martin Luther King because I wasn't alive at the time. But I am alive in the time of Tommy Robinson. So I marched with Tommy because I couldn't march with those great heroes. And he's just as heroic as those in my eyes. I got to tell you guys a story. I don't know if you've heard this yet, but I was supposed to see Tommy tomorrow. Had the visit all scheduled and was ready to go. As I was getting on the plane, or getting ready to get on the plane yesterday, I got a letter from the prison system who said, we're sorry, you're not going to be able to see Tommy because you have a social media platform and we're afraid you're going to share the details of your visit on social media. How bad must the treatment of Tommy Robinson be if the prison system is afraid you're going to share some details on social media? So there's Tommy languishing once again in a Gestapo prison cell, a confined prison cell, solitary confinement, for a civil contempt charge. Absolutely ridiculous. As I understand it, no one in history has ever been sentenced to solitary confinement for a civil contempt charge. You know, I gotta say, it's pretty overwhelming to me to see how quickly, and what an embarrassment it must be to Western governments like the United Kingdom and Germany and all these others to see that in the last 2 weeks, Donald Trump, since his election, But what an embarrassment must it be to see that it only takes 2 weeks to completely seal your borders, get rid of DEI and all the transgender bullshit that these Western governments put their people through. So it's time for the same kind of change in the United Kingdom. But the question is, how far are you willing to go? I heard Andrew Bridgen mention Malcolm X. We had another famous civil rights leader named Martin Luther King. He effected a lot of change in America through marches and protests and silent sit-ins. But, you know, it wasn't just the marching that got the Civil Rights Act passed. It was the marching, and people all around the world were seeing the oppression of what would happen to people peacefully marching in America, people peacefully sitting in diners and enjoying food, drinking from a white water fountain, and then getting beaten by police dogs or incarcerated or shot with water cannons from the fire department. That's called civil disobedience. A lot of folks in America call that good trouble. But the point is, sometimes you have to risk a little freedom to earn a little freedom. So the question is, how far are you all willing to go for that? I know Tommy's sitting in solitary confinement right now. Obviously, we want to be peaceful in anything we do. But there comes a time, sometimes you have to share that post on social media to speak out against your government. Now, speaking of Trump, before I get off here today, I want you guys to do me a little bit of a favor. I got some folks coming on stage to join me. And what I want you to do is help me send a little salute out to Donald Trump and show him that you guys, because I can tell you all the people in America support you and everything your struggles you're going through right now. But I'm going to play a little song here, and I need you all to participate with me and salute Donald Trump. It's called the YMCA, so I need you all to do the dance with me.
What can you do? Copyright for you. There we go.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for turning out, showing support for me. I really appreciate it. Little homework before you go home today. Bring a person with you next time. Tommy's getting out in September. We want to see 1 million people here in September to greet him when he gets out. Can you do that for me? My name is Don Keith. You can find me on Twitter or X @RealDonKeith. I love you all so much. Thank you so much.
You see, you don't get that left in demonstration. We never see any dancing left in demonstration. All you see is complaining, whinging, crying and fighting. We're having the fun, we're on the right side of history, and we're going to win. I want to introduce, do you know something? The class of the speaker is going up. It used to just be people like me, but today we've got Pete Gotch. He's a criminal barrister. He's talking to Tommy Robinson. Give it up for Pete Gotch.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to top that. That's just impossible, isn't it? My name's Pete Gotch. I'm a criminal barrister of England and Wales. I've been doing that for 19 years. Before I was doing that, I was a police officer. I was with Thames Valley Police for 15 years. But, you know what, I think that puts me in a good place to be able to say some legal facts to the people that govern us. And I'm going to start off with a few general facts, and then I'm going to add in a few facts about the way that the state is treating Tommy Robinson. So, fact number 1, I love my country. Let me know if you agree with me. Loving your country does not make you far right. Fact 2, uncontrolled illegal immigration is damaging our country. Being concerned about illegal immigration does not make you a racist. Fact 3. There is a problem in this country with a toxic
Islamic ideology. Being concerned about the spread of Islam does not make you Islamophobic. A phobia is an irrational fear, or a fear of something which is unrealistic. There is nothing irrational about fearing a group who commit 80% of all terrorist attacks in the UK. Fact 4. There is a massive crackdown on free speech underway in this country. Blasphemy laws look as if they may be just around the corner. The police are now openly political. People are in prison for Facebook posts, while violent criminals are being released to make room for them. Tommy Robinson, currently serving 18 months in prison for showing the film Silenced. In other words, for telling the truth when other media outlets were just telling lies. And here's the thing, he's not just in prison, he's in solitary confinement. Now that is something that is usually used to punish prisoners who act up in prison. And we know that segregation of that kind for periods longer than 14 days can have a detrimental effect on somebody's mental health. And we know that because prison psychologists tell us that. But Tommy is likely to spend 9 months on his own. So why is that? Some would say it's an attempt to break him. The prison would say, oh, it's for his own protection. Well, let's quickly look at those two alternatives. I'll address a few questions directly to Nicola Marfleet, the governor of Woodhill Prison. Nicola Marfleet, if you have to keep Tommy Robinson in solitary confinement, who are you protecting him from? Why does Tommy have to be kept in solitary rather than dealing with the group who are making the threats against him? Doesn't that exactly mirror what is going on in society? Where, rather than dealing with the violent criminals, we prefer to deal instead with the people who call them out. Ms Marfleet, Governor, there is a difference between segregation and solitary confinement. There must be plenty of people in that prison who would be quite happy to be housed with Tommy Robinson. Just safe people, just people who are not jihadists. So why then is he kept isolated from everybody? If it's for his own protection, why have all the visitors who've been to see him so far been made to sign a non-disclosure agreement so that the things that Tommy says in prison cannot be repeated outside of the prison? What is it that you don't want the public to hear? And why, Ms Marfleet, as a public servant, are you involving yourself in politics? And how does that relate in any way to his protection? And I hear now that all his visits have now been stopped. All personal visits to Tommy have now been stopped. There can be no possible legal justification for doing that. If it isn't an attempt to break him, what is it? The public need an explanation. And these questions, of course, should be asked by those that represent us over there. But they're not being asked. Lastly, Tommy should be in an open prison. He's category C, he should really be category D and in open conditions. Now there's no clear definition of who's entitled to a category D open prison, but there is some fairly clear advice on who is not entitled. You're not entitled to category D if you're violent, if you're a foreign national at risk of deportation, if you're an escaper, if you're someone who continues to behave in a criminal way whilst in prison, or if you're somebody who disrupts the security and good order of a prison. So, given that none of these things apply to Tommy Robinson, why can he not be housed in a category D open prison? I have no doubt that what is happening to Tommy is a breach of his Article 3 human rights. And that's the bit that prohibits torture and inhuman treatment. And in my view, that is exactly what's going on. So the question is, what can all of us do about it? What can we do about it? First thing, lobby your MPs. They should be asking these questions on our behalf, but they're not. Lobby your MPs. Secondly, tell everybody what's going on. They're not going to hear about this on the BBC, are they? They're not going to read about it in The Guardian. Tell your mates, tell your kids, tell everybody down the pub what's going on. Refuse to be silenced. And if anybody doesn't like what you're saying, defeat them with facts. That's what Tommy does, isn't it? I've never seen him lose an argument. Because he just bombards people with truth and facts, and you can't stand up against it. So we must all do the same. We must all step up now. We are all Tommy Robinson. Thank you for listening.
I really want everybody to start moving up. I know it sounds stupid, and I took the counter, but start jumping up and down again, you're going to get the blood going, guys. If you're really cold, give someone a call, give someone next to you a hug. I'm going to bring Maureen up. Maureen is an independent councillor from Wigan. She stood for Tommy, she's fighting for Tommy, she's standing for a public inquiry, not about the grooming gangs, but we can call them rape gangs now, because that's what they are. Give it up for Maureen from Wigan Council.
Hi everyone, my name's Maureen Ahern and I'm a local independent councillor in Wigan. However, today I am acting as a private citizen in my own personal capacity. I have to say that because they've got a solicitor employed to investigate me already. I have followed Tommy Robinson for a few years, mainly in support of his fight against the rape gangs. Last week I brought a motion forward to Wigan Council that they ask Keir Starmer to have a full national inquiry into the rape gangs. They deliberately prolonged the meeting.
Yeah, thanks to the moderators for getting rid of the idiot.
I said I'm going to go ahead with it anyway, and I'm asking you all to stay. All the Labour councillors, bar one, walked out while I was speaking about the rape gangs. I posted a video of this incident on Facebook. 2 days later, they reconvened and they had to all pass the motion. This was due to the public outcry. They were sharing into it. So never give up. Don't let them silence you. Don't let them shut you down. Don't feel embarrassed in front of your friends. Speak out every time for what's right and for Tommy. He's not in jail for what he's done, but for what he says and what he believes. He's a political prisoner because he talks about issues the establishment would prefer he didn't. Consecutive governments allowed young vulnerable girls to be raped for years and let the perpetrators get away with it and local authorities cover up for it. Only a few people such as Tommy and Maggie Oliver were prepared to expose what was going on.
everyone, regardless of colour, ethnicity or religion, should demand that there is a national inquiry. Those girls deserve justice.
Everybody check this guy's
Tommy is in
Facebook
jail
out.
because he makes films that tell the truth.
This guy
He's not in jail for doing something wrong.
threatening to
He's in
share
jail for telling
this
the
conversation
truth
to my followers. Look, can we see
He's
it?
in jail while dangerous criminals are set free.
Kevin Twist.
We must not
Everyone give him a follow.
and silencers as they try to silence him. I was asked on to GB News to speak about the motion at the council, and I mentioned Tommy Robinson on GB News because how can we talk about grooming gangs without talking about Tommy Robinson? I'm not ashamed to say his name. I'm proud to say Tommy Robinson, as we all should be. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Some amazing people stepping on a speaker today.
Yeah, everybody go and bombard that guy's Facebook,
A friend
please.
of Tommy, a friend of what we do for a very long time. Give it up for the former leader of UKIP, Mr. Jared Button. He's somewhere about. I think Jared Button's got hypothermia, so we'll have to wing it for a few minutes. Get the guy to play the next song. Next song. Get the next song. We're playing hide and seek with Jared Button, and we found here he is. He was just kicking all waiting. Jared Button, everyone.
Hello everybody, thank you for coming. Thank you for to the organisers and all of the stewards and everybody that makes it possible. And I'd very much like to thank the organisers for inviting me today. And of course, why are we here? We're here to support Britain's premier political prisoner, Tommy Robinson. Not forgetting now all the other political prisoners that have joined Tommy over the
Yeah, I'll stick him on the community post later.
Now, I grew up in an era of political prisoners. I remember reading about people who were being locked up for giving their opinions, for criticising and questioning a government's agenda. Such people were put in prisons, they were put in re-education camps, or they were put in gulags. And of course, it wasn't happening here, it was happening in the old Soviet Union. And now we have started to copy what the old Soviet Union used to do, where people cannot critique, they cannot question, and they're being locked up for giving their opinions. Well, that shouldn't surprise us too much now, because we have an extreme left government run by a Marxist and his fellow low IQ loony lefties. Now, the first tenet of Marxism is that you have to destroy the old order and society. Now, how do you do that in the UK? Well, it's been done by mass illegal immigration. And in fact, I think it would be more accurate to call it mass migrant invasions rather than immigration. And how do they intend to destroy our old order by doing that? Well, it breaks down national identity, it destroys national loyalty, and it destroys national cohesion. And you can see it around you all the time. You see it in the general lawlessness, the general low-level crime, the organised crime of foreign criminal gangs, and of course, as has come to light more and more, in the organised rape and prostitution, industrialised prostitution of underage and general white girls. All of this has been done for a reason: to destroy our cohesive society. Now, during the lockdown, you may remember, during the troubles last summer, a man was sent to prison for posting a meme. And that meme had a picture of some illegal immigrants, and then it had a caption saying, "Coming to a town near you soon." And he was in prison for that. Well, he was telling the truth. And that truth was confirmed last week by the government's Office for National Statistics. They said that Britain's population is due to rise from 67 million to 72.5 million by 2032. That is the demonstration that that man was telling the truth. It's coming to a town near you over the next 5 years if you haven't got it already. The government is letting in 900,000 people a year at the moment. Now, I cited the old Soviet Union earlier on, and those of you of my age and a bit younger will remember that they had their heroes of free speech too. In Russia they had Alexander Solzhenitsyn. In Poland they had Lech Walesa. In Czechoslovakia they had Václav Havel. And many, many more unsung heroes who paid a heavy price for defying the government. But the government, and more importantly the system, was eventually overthrown because you cannot deny the truth forever. Well, our national hero now is Tommy Robinson. And all of those other fellow free speechers that are paying the price in prison for pointing out the bleeding obvious. Now, what can we do? What can we do? Well, all we can do is what we're doing now. We continue to tell the truth, continue to speak up, continue to support the social media channels that are replacing the old legacy media. They cannot imprison everybody. Now, we have to thank God for Elon Musk, who has brought this issue into an international spotlight. Maybe even President Trump may decide to say something. That's right. So carry on what we're doing, do whatever you can think of to do to support Tommy. One of the suggestions I had is sending a card in prison. He's getting thousands and thousands and thousands, so maybe the prisons will get fed up with trying to sort through his mail and put him in an open prison. Let's do what we can. Thank you very much.
Is everybody having a good time? Let's keep it high energy all the way to the very end. We've got 1 hour left, and we've got to plough through the speakers so they all get an opportunity to speak and spread some love. Now, this is one of my favourite men on X. And he said, make up what you want about me. So I'm going to say he was lead singer of the Beatles back in the day. David Banks, come on!
Yeah, I've left John, Paul and Ringo backstage. Listen, it's very, very great to be here with you this afternoon. Can I just start by fact-checking the BBC in advance, if I may? There's thousands of people here, and we know that, and we know that when they report on this, they'll say it was half a dozen men and a dog. So, BBC, fact-checked, just to start with. Secondly, it's important to see positivity. And if we look across the Atlantic, we see Donald Trump got into power, and what was the first thing he did? He released the January 6th political hostages. Now then, even better, the people responsible for putting those hostages in prison, they're going to be investigated, and they might end up in prison as well. So, that sounds kind of good to me, doesn't it? And of course, needless to say, the reason we're here is because Tommy Robinson is a political hostage, taken by a corrupt regime here in the United Kingdom, a regime where we're standing amongst the remnants of it, and we need to have real change here in this country as well. And it's not just Tommy, because it's also the other people taken political hostage last August in the aftermath of the Southport atrocity. So all those people should not be behind bars. The people who should be behind bars are the people responsible. And I just want to briefly mention one of them, and that is the Attorney General of the United Kingdom, Lord Hormer, or Hormer, depending. He's the guy that represented Gerry Adams. He's the guy that suggested that Shamima Begum be returned to the UK. Yeah, that guy. And he's the guy that made sure last autumn that Tommy was eventually put behind bars. You know, so my hope would be in due course, and this will happen. Tommy Robinson will be freed. He will join us again. And what I would love to see is everybody involved in his incarceration investigated, and ultimately I'd like to see them behind bars. I hope you agree with that. And on that note, I know you're all pretty dying of hypothermia, as indeed am I. Look, thanks again for coming here for Tommy. It's great to be with you. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Another wonderful man. And now, we've got Urban Scoop's international reporter, Vicky Richard. Let's hear it for her, come on!
Hello together, and thank you for having me here. And we are all here to talk about the political prisoners who we want to get out, especially Tommy Robinson. But we should never forget the people who died in prison because of political imprisonment. So I will name internationally from 3 countries the people who died in political imprisonment. I start with the UK, and you all know Peter Lynch, who committed suicide in prison. We should never forget his name. I come to Brazil. They had a January 8th. It was the same bullshit like January 6th, only in Brazil. Clezon, he died on pneumonia in prison because De Moraes, the Supreme Court judge, didn't let him out because he was too sick. But he was a political opponent. He said Jair Bolsonaro is the right president, so he had to stay in prison and died. Now I come to America. We all know about January 6th. In January 6th, we had suicide in prison. Matthew Perna, Mark Ernst, Gord Matcham, Christopher Georgia, David Hummel, they all committed suicide because they are standing up for their right of freedom of speech. We should never forget their names. Two other J6ers didn't die on suicide, but Julio Pessoa died just days after his release from prison, where he had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. He maybe could have survived if he would have been in freedom and could have the medication what he would need it. Bart Shifley is released, has now also cancer. It's fatal. He got this cancer related to his service for the military, for fighting for his country. He would maybe still be able to fight this cancer if he would have got his medication. And I also want to name the people who died on January 6th. Ashley Babbitt got killed. Roseanne Boylan got killed. Kevin Greason got killed. Benjamin Phillips got killed. All those names we should never forget because they will not come back. But they stood for the same reasons you are here right now, for freedom of speech. And we should remember on the 20th of January, Donald J. Trump got back into office. The first thing what he did after being president again, he released 1,500 of the January 6th prisoners. So my call is now directed to Keir Starmer. You should release all British political prisoners by Monday. And if not, you get the hell out of this office. Thank you.
We must keep it going. I know it's cold.
Hello, how you doing, mate?
Just consider yourself lucky you're not got
Cold,
a
isn't it?
like mine. Now,
usually you're never cold, so if you say
Professor Norman Fenton was the first British academic to stand up and publicly support Tommy Robinson. Here he is, ladies and gents.
I will go with him then. Follow him.
He's going to talk to someone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm Norman Fenton, mathematician and Professor Emeritus of Risk at Queen Mary University.
Whereabouts is Paul Thorpe then?
Academics claim to be the torchbearers for protecting human
I'm not sure whether we should go down
civil
either end.
liberties and freedom of speech. Tommy Robinson's incarceration is a disgraceful breach of those principles. He's a political prisoner. But if I could have got all the other academics prepared to publicly say the same thing, I could have driven them here in a Red Oak Clio and still had room for a couple of hitchhikers. That's because academics support the political persecution of men like Tommy who are like them. I'm sick of their hypocrisy and prejudice. It led to the head of the National Educators Union sending out a mass email to its 500,000 members asking them to turn up today to combat all of us here calling us racists and fascists. And why the head of the Royal College of Speech and Language was suspended and forced to issue a grovelling apology just for accidentally following Tommy Robinson on X. I've personally been on the receiving end of this cancel culture because I openly challenge the government narrative on COVID lockdowns and vaccines. But of course, that's nothing compared to what Tommy's been through. Where are all the human rights and civil liberties organisations who are supposed to campaign for political prisoners like Tommy and the others wrongly imprisoned after Southport? They haven't said a single word. They're cowards. The fear of being cancelled, simply for being seen to be associated with Tommy, shames our country. People who support him must be prepared to publicly say so. They can't cancel us all. And finally, as a Jew, I also want to thank Tommy for his brave stance against anti-Semites. And the fact that he has supported the victims of Hamas just like he supported the victims of grooming gangs. Tommy knows the same Islamist terrorists who want to destroy Israel also want to destroy Britain and the West. Tommy's a brave British hero who sacrificed everything to expose the truth. He needs to be released now.
Yeah, I second that. We want Tommy out! 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 Ladies and gentlemen, political and cultural commentator, let's hear it for Bass and Bougie!
Who here loves Great Britain? Who here loves freedom of speech? Who here loves democracy? Who here loves our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? My parents came into this country for everything we just listed. Freedom of speech, democracy, Christianity, and they came into this country, many first, second generation immigrants, integrated, assimilated, contributed, and they even taught their children, just like me, to do the same. And now what has happened, because it's not just the white working class people that are frustrated, you are not alone. What has happened is that the country they escaped to is turning into the country they escaped from. Do not believe the lies that Britain is progressing. Britain is regressing. The fact that a man is sitting in solitary confinement for releasing a documentary. The last time someone was arrested for contempt of court was in World War II. Please tell me, how is that progression? Communism is creeping into this country. It's creeping into this education system. And when you tell people that, they say you're a coon. They say you're an Uncle Tom. They say you're a far-right extremist. They say you're a neo-Nazi. Okay, if this is a far-right neo-Nazi extremist event, then what the fuck am I doing here? No, seriously. I have a question for mainstream media. If this is a racist event, then what are me and many other ethnic minorities who are out here doing here? Yes, I see you. And why do you not show people who look like me at these events? The reason why they do it is the reason why they don't do it is because they know these events have nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with color. It barely even has anything to do with Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson is just a vessel, just like you and me. What it has to do is with preserving Christian values. Everything in this world is a fight between good and evil, holiness and sin, Jesus Christ and Satan. And in the Bible it says in Proverbs 31, 8 to 9, it says, stand up for those who are mute, stand up for those who are destitute, and stand up for the needy and the poor. That's what Tommy Robinson has been doing for the last 10 years. And now he's in jail for it. Can you imagine? That's who we should be knighting, not fucking Sadiq Khan. The Bible also says, notice how I swear that I also mentioned the Bible, sorry guys. The Bible also says in Matthew 18 that those who cause children to be harmed are better off having a milestone hung around their neck, drowning in the sea. If we would have preserved the scripture in Parliament, the millions of young British girls, because it's not thousands, do you not believe the media lies that it's thousands, it's millions of young white British girls, they would have never been groomed. Not only do we need to protect our children from being groomed, but we also need to protect our children from this communist ideology that is telling them that you should be afraid to be a patriot. Let me make myself very clear. Support the country you live in or live in the country you support. And I have a question for the anti-racism rally, okay? You wanted to come to this event to stop it. My question to you is, what are you complaining about? What can you do, whether you're African, Caribbean, Arab, that a white man cannot do? How dare you complain about racism in this country when you have every opportunity offered to you? And the thing is about these BLM anti-racism rallies is they always quote Martin Luther King. But wasn't Martin Luther King the same person who said we should judge people by the content of their character and not the color of their skin? So for every single person from the anti-racism rally, I triple dare you to come here at the next event and judge these people not because they're white, but because of what they have to say. And that's when you'll realize that this is the right side of history. because I was once like you. Tommy Robinson was presented to me as a racist. People told me that he hated me. It wasn't until I watched just one interview of Tommy Robinson, and it made me realize that Tommy Robinson wasn't a racist. In fact, he was a hero. Yes, mainstream media. I want mainstream media to capture a black woman saying Tommy Robinson is a hero. I dare you. He sacrificed his family, he sacrificed his businesses, he sacrificed his reputation for this country. That's who we should be uniting. Now, because Tommy Robinson is a hero, I want you guys to please do me a favor. On the count of 3, I want you guys to repeat 3 times, okay? On the count of 3, Tommy's lives matter. You guys ready? Let me get my camera out. You ready, guys? 3, 2, 1.
Tommy's lives matter. Tommy's lives matter. Tommy's lives matter.
Thank you so much, guys.
Outstanding. Now, before I introduce Reverend Brett Murphy, is Richard Inman anywhere? Can you come to the back of the stage, please? And my final word for the day, and I have said this before, that we have got enough battles out there at the moment, and as a country I feel like we're up against the ropes, but we're not flat on our back, and I think with a little bit of momentum and a little bit of pulling together more, we could find ourselves back in the centre of the ring again. So please bear this in mind. If you're having disputes at home, or you minor squabbles with people that you've held grudges against for years over little things, ego, nonsense, let it go. Let that shit go. Go home, build bridges with people, become your own little communities, and build yourselves up so we can all rise on the same team and move in the same direction. We've got enough enemies out there. We don't need to be fighting amongst each other. Alright? Have we got a reverend in the house? I believe we have.
Thank you, Ian. What an encouragement to see so many patriotic people gathered today. Thank you to the opportunity to speak. Let me bounce off Liam there and say, I want to bring you a message of hope in the midst of darkness. If you look back through the history of our great nation, you will find time and time again she has faced down insurmountable odds where the forces of evil looked like they would win. And yet, by the grace of God, who made Britain mighty, he makes her mightier yet. If you flick through history, you will see brave, heroic figures who do not bow down to evil. Think of King Alfred the Great, Queen Elizabeth I, Horatio Lord Nelson, Sir Winston Churchill, and Tommy Robinson. We must not give in to the forces of darkness which have gripped our country. And I believe we are facing the greatest threat this nation has ever seen in its long and glorious history. And the worst thing about that is the forces of Satan have infiltrated our very nation. We face a threat from within, twofold, from weak and corrupt government who bow down to evil, and from forces of outside worldviews. And I'm of course talking about extremist Islamist worldviews, which are incompatible with the Christian values of the United Kingdom. Our nation will be overwhelmed, as a friend and brother in Christ of mine said, if we don't stand now, we will kneel in the future. So we must stand with Tommy and all those who are willing to speak the truth. For if a man can be thrown into prison, in a political prison, as Tommy has been, anyone could be.
We must not allow our country to be swallowed up by the gaping maws of evil which would seek to see our awesome country obliterated. I want to give you an encouragement and I want to make an apology. I'm sorry it's me talking to you. I am just a silly Australian who came here 7 years ago with rose-coloured glasses, and what I found is a nation in distress. It should be the Archbishop of York or the Archbishop of Canterbury on this stage. But the Church of England, which I left, which I call the cult of England, should hang its head in shame. But do not lose heart. God is not done with the United Kingdom yet. There is a revival happening of people who are seeking truth, and they are finding it in Jesus Christ. He is King of the United Kingdom. And I tell you what, if you turn to Him, you will find the greatness that made our country awesome to begin with. I'm going to conclude with a short scripture, and I believe it applies to our country today. Chapter 7 of the second book of Chronicles, chapter 14. If my people, which are called by my name, says God, shall humble themselves, pray, and seek my face, and turn from wicked ways, I will hear them from heaven, I will forgive their sin, and I will heal their land. If we turn back to God, He will heal the United Kingdom, and He will expunge it of the evil which is set as a rot in our nation. So I want to encourage you, don't lose hope. There are good churches out there. Don't go to the cult of England or other woke churches. Find a good biblical church with a pastor who has the balls to speak the truth. And be with like-minded people so we can form strong Christian communities again. Don't let them bully you into silence, but stand firm. Now, my brother in Christ and one of my best friends, Father Calvin Robinson, has got in trouble for a hand gesture recently. And my wife said, keep your hands at your side, dear, or it's divorce. So, even though that's a sin. So, I thought we could do a great British gesture, inspired by the man whose statue is just in the square down there. How's about we say, V for victory! Free Tommy Robinson, and make Britain Christian again!
Thank you, Father Brett, and he's certainly right about one thing. Our land needs healed. Now, we're going to finish very, very soon. We've got Pastor Ricky, we've got a song, and then we've got Pastor Phil is going to come up and close in prayer. So give it up for these great men of God. Pastor Ricky Doolan, Pastor Phil. You have been the most generous crowd. I've heard what's gone in the buckets. You've been the most patient crowd, and you're the most hardy crowd. You must all be from Middlesbrough, the north of England, because you stood in the cold without shivering. Give yourselves a round of applause for coming. God bless you all. Here's Ricky Doolan.
Hello, United Kingdom, Great Britain, England, Scotland, Ireland, the world. Give a big shout in this place! Right, just to warm us up a little bit. There's no band today, but I want us to clap our hands like this. They need to hear it. Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson. Come on. Oh, Tommy, Tommy, faster now. Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson. Oh, Tommy, Tommy, lift it up! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson. Oh, Tommy, Tommy! Tommy, 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 Tommy Robinson. Oh, we want Tommy out now. Come on, here we go. We want Tommy out. We want Tommy out. Come on. We want Tommy out. We want Tommy out. We want Tommy out. We want Tommy out. We want Tommy out! We want Tommy out! Somebody give a big shout in this place! But we can do better than that. One more time, on the count of three, we shout so the people in Parliament can hear. All the lefties and the globalists can hear. contempt of court. It's nothing to do that anything that Tommy's done wrong. It's just to silence his voice. Why are they now making his friends that are trying to visit him not allowed to go to the prison and visit? Because it's silencing. They don't want people hearing the truth. And as long as we stand together and we speak the truth and we stay united and we stay as one, we'll break through this darkness and this evil.
I'm cold
now,
and hungry,
we're going to do a song in just a moment, but it's important that I say this as well, and we've heard it from some of our other speakers, that this country is founded and built on a solid foundation, and that foundation is the Lord Jesus Christ. Christianity built this country. Christianity made this country be great, and as long as we respect and we honour that same Christianity and that same God we call Jesus Christ, then there's no evil or darkness or devil that can ever defeat us. We're going to do this song together, and this is an important song, and this is for Tommy. We're going to sing this one for Tommy today, but it's for each and every one of us, and it's very important that we recognise with the Lord Jesus Christ we will never walk alone. So let's sing this song together. Father, with a closing prayer, the words of Elon Musk and the words of Father Calvin Robinson, my heart to yours. Father,
with hope in our hearts, we need hope in our hearts. The prophet Amos said these words, that justice will roll down like a river, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. The kingdom of God is righteousness, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit. And if we are to know peace in this nation again, we need righteousness. And we cannot have political prisoners. We cannot have injustice if we are to know peace. And so, may we stand for righteousness. That is why I'm here today, that we stand for righteousness. And so can I just declare a blessing over us today before we go from here and before I hand the mic back to Richard, who will give us some instructions of what happens next. So let me bless you if you will afford me that opportunity. So go forth into the world in peace. Be of good courage. Hold fast to that which is good. Render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the afflicted. Show love to everyone. Love and serve the Lord. Rejoicing in the power of the Holy Spirit. And the blessing of Almighty God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be among you, be upon you, remain with you, and with those whom you love, now and evermore. And we say together, Amen.
Oh guys, what a fantastic day. And I want to once more thank every single one of you for coming. I'm just going to tell you what we need to do now. If you're leaving, just don't you turn around, head toward Parliament Square. If you're going towards Waterloo again, to get home, go that way. If you're going towards Victoria Station, go Victoria Street. Keep it peaceful, keep it respectful. We've had a great day. No arrests from our side. Now you better go home before I trip and we fall off the stage. See you all next time. See you.
I need a charger. Please, even from Jerusalem. Jerusalem! Let's sing Jerusalem!
Come here, about tomorrow.
We can all sing it, can't we? Hang on.
Yeah, lots of very happy people here. Positive people.
I don't remember you. Yeah, I put a few in there. Quite a few. I'm always one. Remember when I came to...
Is that finished with you? Yeah. Oh, that. So guys, we'll stay live for a second until we know what's going on.
It looks like that is it. What a day it has been. I'm not going to lie, my hands are fucking freezing. I'm hungry. I want a pint. I had a pint since I came to London. So we're going to go, we're going to chew a few up, boys. We'll have a pleasure.
Like, yeah.
Everybody who attended. Dr. Austin from Woodstock, you know, the good old fashioned stam of loving mainstream media. So everybody, do me a big, massive favour.
Bear with me guys, I'm just putting a tripod away at the moment.
From me and from everyone, until the next one guys, as always, stay safe, peace and race.
No idea. No idea. I wasn't going to come today.
There you go, man.
On the media. Like and subscribe.
Not mine, Mum was checking all day.
Don't just watch it this way. Big up.
You got a key ring? Can I give you a key ring?
Key ring, yeah. Can you get a video, yeah?
What's that, mate?
We had my white clip on, singing away.
Yeah.
I'm a bit carried away, didn't I? Loved it. Proud of the day.
Thanks, mate.
DJ.
Why? Can you call it? I think he's calling me.
Calling you?
Me? Oh. Sorry, mate. I thought.
I'm getting him to come over. I want to meet him. You know Yorkshire. I want to meet him. I've never met him before.
Oh, you want to meet him? Yeah.
Yeah. Got a fucking brilliant channel. You got a great channel.
You want to go and get him over?
Yeah, please, yeah.
We want to see you. Let me turn the camera away. There you go. Can you pop that in there for us, mate? I know. When you get like a second. Yeah, it should zip up, but. Ah. Please, one hand, mate.
Yeah. Keep the truth going.
Thank you, mate.
We need it.
Yes, we do.
We need it.
Yes. You had a good day?
Yeah, it's been. I lost my voice, but yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's all right. Sign of a good day, that.
Yeah. I'll put that away now.
Put what away?
I'm a minister. I'm a pastor.
All right.
But I can put that away. I only wear this special occasion.
Ah, but I didn't see that. Sorry, got you. I understand.
No. But I'll try to get to see Tommy myself, but they won't let me.
Are they being awkward about it, are they?
Oh, they won't let me.
Yeah?
That's who I am.
Mr. Ross Rennie.
Yeah, I'm the Reverend. But my view is that, you know, we want all of them free. Peter's already died.
Yeah.
You know, but I shall see you in September, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I support the cause.
I watch so much of your stuff.
Thanks for that, mate.
God bless you.
Thank you very much.
No, I really do like your drone footage as well.
Oh, the drone footage?
Yeah.
I brought the drone today, but...
You are DJ E.
Yes.
Yes.
E,
yes. Because there's DJ.
DJ Audit just at home, relaxing.
Yeah. But no, which one was it the other day you done where the security kept coming up to? It was the university.
It could be anyone, mate, that.
Most recent one.
Most recent video?
Yeah.
Where'd you get this from?
Hang on.
Yesterday's video?
Yes. Would have been yesterday's, I think. I think I watched
the Palace?
last night. Yeah.
Fulham Palace?
Yeah. And then before that you did the university.
Did I?
Go through, yeah.
Can't remember.
You do so
I don't
much,
remember,
don't
mate. Yeah, so many videos.
But no, I do like your drone footage as well. It's
Appreciate that.
It's quite
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
Right, take care, my
Thank you very much, guys.
Keep
Yeah,
doing what
take it
you're
easy,
doing.
take it easy. Let's who?
Sammy. She's still about. What's she got?
I don't know. Not even sure who that is.
Sammy Woodhouse.
I'm pretty known by face, not by name.
Pretty lass. Good fitter. Sammy, yeah, Woodhouse.
Oh,
She's
it's a
gone,
girl.
is she?
In that
Or?
case, I don't know.
Oh, no.
Hello, mate. Hello.
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, good.
Yes. So I'm on a course Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if I don't email you back straight away, it's because I'm okay, it's going to be a rubbish.
You get to go home now.
Hopefully.
Cold, isn't it?
It's cold today. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's one
Any trouble down that end today?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been down there. I've been
Hello?
here. No, I don't. I'll see you next
Right,
yeah.
I will email you.
Yeah.
I'll drop you a message anyway.
Yeah. Right. Good luck.
Anything control?
Huh?
Oh look, the bike waiting for me. Look at that. Who would put a bike there like that?
People, you watch one of the most amazing rallies.
Yeah, this is what made me delayed today, guys. I had a puncture on the back wheel there.
I'm not going to lie, I came.
When I was speaking to him before,
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Go on, you go. I ran over there.
I'll probably sound a bit incoherent to what hypothermia, but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I think we'll go out here and.
DJ, yeah, it's going to pay you right. Are you
Thank
going
you.
Hyde Park tomorrow?
What for? What for? No, I doubt it.
That's right, didn't you? Hey, I was in Blackpool last week when you went through the storm.
Did you?
Friday, yeah,
Ah.
mate. Yeah, I was working at the fire station there.
Ah.
I'll go back Sunday.
Is it crazy that was?
That was mental, mate. Me and the lads went down to come and have a look to see how we
Oh, let me move go over here a little bit.
Yeah, we went down to see how windy it was, and it was really, really windy, weren't it?
Bad,
It
man.
was good,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Good experience to experience
Yeah, yeah.
it by the seas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, yeah.
wicked, mate.
I am cold. Well, my feet are okay.
Yeah.
My face is cold. I'll have a little walk of here. All right. Take it easy, guys. All right, guys. We're on the bike and we're gonna see all these Met Police coming out. Full of police in these vans. Look at this. Full. Absolutely full.
You're going to cut in or you're going to be
Yeah.
You're back, guys. Yeah, loads of vans, and they don't think they've really been used. Have a little look here, and we'll go back down, maybe. There's Big Ben. Here they all go. Where are they going? We'll stay here for a second. Blue lights in there. Looks like the street is now opening up for everybody. That van is coming round with blue lights on. Oh no, turn them off now. He's off. Well, I think.
Look at an electronic device while he's riding his bike. Project Snap, guys. Project Snap. I love it in blue.
Nice and blue, isn't it?
I don't mean you and your jeans, you silicone. No, that is nice, man. That's well nice in blue. Mine's silver.
I got silver.
I haven't got the jazz, but that is lovely, that in blue.
Thanks, man.
Very nice. Stands out as well, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Got the gel saddle.
Yeah, DJ, why didn't you get me a blue, man? Right, come on.
Where are you going now?
Victoria for the fight.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, come in.
Whereabouts?
Victoria. There's
Yeah,
two
but-
Wetherspoons here. There's two of them. You want it in the station?
Okay.
One right now.
Which one are you going to? Oh, okay. Alright, are you walking straight over? Which way? Straight across?
Well, you go there, just go right.
Okay. I'll come and follow you in a second, yeah? Alright. Alright, sound, I'll come over. Yeah, we're gonna go Victoria, I think. Just gonna check there's nothing down here worth filming. And then we shall go. No, I think we're done. I think we are done. So what we'll do, we'll just go and have a last little look. Right. It is cold, isn't it? We'll have a last little
I feel like £1 million.
Maya Tusi's security guard there.
No, I just want to ask whether the old people are going to let us through. Well, they seem to be walking off.
So we're going to call it a day on the live stream, guys.
Yeah. Just walked down.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to go and have a little drinky quickly, and we're going to go home. I might just go home, I'm not sure. Really?
Yeah, that I mean it.
Ah, that's okay.
What?
Oh. Do I want an interview? Oh, do you want to go on an interview? Well, I'm still live streaming at the moment, so if you want to have a quick say so on my live stream, you can.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to ask some very complicated political questions, but I feel like you're the guys that can answer it because you're fighting for something that matters.
Well, it's the very end of my live stream, so it can be a good ending to the live stream, right?
Hallelujah. So, from what I've been to this before, but to those that are probably new to this is a nationalist front. We're fighting for things that actually, well, our government are doing to us that is affecting everyone. Everyone. So, but on the other hand, over here, I'm on this side, but in India, I'm kind of a leftist because there's a persecution of Christians in India, and I became a Christian recently. So there's still women's rights things, you know, domestic abuse and all this stuff, and especially with like and Bangladesh with the Prime Minister. What happened to her was a real example of how nationalism can get so fucking whack for, I would say, people of ethnic culture. I would say people of different ethnicity, different culture, whatever. So I can't find the question which I'm trying to find, but some of these are actually like, you know, I've been down a political rabbit hole, and some of these are like self-explanatory. Now I'm reading them back again. I clearly wasn't like looking at them properly. So yeah, okay. This is exactly. As much as I want to see this that become a Christian country, because I became a Christian at a time where you're not allowed to say it's a Christian country anymore. Like I barely know what the culture is. I want you to take a look. I don't know shit about this country, and I've lived here my whole life. Just a bit of a perspective, okay? So I'm on the right in the UK. Well, right, but whatever this is, because people put different things. But I'm on the left in India. As much as I want to see this country go back to its Christian roots, because I became a Christian myself a few months ago, I want to see more liberalization, well, not woke, but in India, because there's still like, you know, domestic abuse, and there's still like a freedom of religion thing that is actually welcomed a lot more in the West. Now actually looking back at it. Amritsar in Punjab. You know what Amritsar is? That's where the Golden Temple is. In Punjab, it's home to the Golden Temple, and they're seeing a Christian revolution there, around that area, with the Punjabi Sikhs and the Balkani Hindus. And that's because their caste was lower and they were treated like second-class citizens. So, on the flip side over here, this is what's happening here, but at the same time, when it comes to keeping your ethnic identity, there's levels to this. There's tolerance, which is what is spoken about in the Bible often, but that's a different story. I'm going to get back to the topic here. So, seeing people equate with their British Judeo-Christian roots has inspired me to look more, not only at my Asian roots, because I was always made fun of for sounding like a white person in the brown area which I'm from, but I realised how far away I was from my Indian roots. So there's people that, on that other side, I've got Muslim friends myself, they believe that being aligned to your ethnic identity, not like the UK's identity or whatever that means, but their identity is a sign of being a leftist. Now, I'm a bit in between both. So I'm not going to be saying most of the chants that they're saying. I'm still learning. I'm still like going through stuff myself. So
one more minute, yeah?
Oh yeah. So
1 minute.
Is it morally just to be on the nationalist side in the country you live in, but not the one you're ethnically from?
Okay, I see. Yeah, you too.
You're asking a question.
Yeah, that's
to
the
me,
question.
or to the viewers.
That's the question. I mean, what are the people saying? Yeah. Let me just repeat the question. Is it more? Is it?
Get this guy a drink and explain things to him.
I don't like the alcohol culture. There's a lot of shit that goes on at university. It's just so overdone, and I don't like alcohol. Okay, but is it morally just to be on the nationalist side in the country you live in, but not the one? No, but not the one. Not on the one that you're ethnically from. That's the. Oh wait, this is a stream, isn't it? No.
The only thing that came from my viewers is that I need to buy you a drink and explain things to you.
Let's do it. As long as you do it. Like.
I can't at the moment. I've got to do a few more interviews after.
Well,
yeah, I'll be around.
Let's see that as a rhetorical question.
I'll be around, man.
Let's see that as a rhetorical question.
Yeah. Thanks for your time, my friend.
No, let's stay. You want to stay in contact?
What's the what?
You want to stay in contact?
DJ E-Media. But just
write your email down. Write your email down. I'm here on a mission. I actually wanted to also.
If you just YouTube the channel, my email's on there.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to remember that.
My hands are full.
Huh?
My hands are
so
full.
What's a
DJ E-Media? 23@gmail.com.
Oh, that's your email address.
That's my email address. Yes.
Hallelujah.
If you just YouTube it, then you can find it.
Let's take a picture together.
Nice talking, my friend.
Picture?
Press.
No, not good.
Something which isn't concerned controversialised.
Right, that's kind if you want, mate. I don't mind.
To push back against the government. Against tyrannical government. And against.
You've got a live stream going.
Problems that
You've got another camera to look at.
And we need to free political prisoners. We need to free Tommy Robinson. We need to end.
We'll hang around a little bit, but I think we're gonna go off the stream.
Which is damaging to his mental health. Let alone the fact that it's political. He's been denied. He's been denied.
Yeah, Kitty, I agree.
Access to free movement. He's been denied
I do agree.
access to communicate with friends and family, and it's illegal. It's illegal, and it's political, and it's an echo of the Soviet Union, of people being put in prison, being put in gulags, being put in jails and throwing away the key. It's the same kind of behaviour, and because it's the same political motivation, and we need an alternative. It's not enough. Reform is not doing enough. Farage is becoming wishy-washy in his policies. I can see maybe in the direction that he's moving, he might join the Conservatives even, and that he might try and lead the Conservatives, because that's the direction that he's moving. But that's not what's going to solve the issue. We need to free Tommy Robinson.
Yes, guys, we are going to leave a bit now. We're going to them, and then he spoke.
And we need to protect the freedoms that people have fought and died to preserve.
Yes, Haley agrees.
And that's something which is